or something excessively wide, giving you almost... What's up y'all, today we are testing the Sony 11mm 1.8 in full frame mode. While this lens is obviously designed for crop sensor, hence the vignetting all over the place, once you apply stabilization on your camera, be it the amazing dynamic stabilization from the Sony ZV-E1 or post stabilization, you're gonna crop into the image enough to get rid of the vignetting. About 1.3 times the lens will turn into a 14mm 2.3 more or less. We're gonna do some stabilization tests later on, but in the context of a studio talking head, I do think this is still a little bit too wide a field of view for my liking. That's when I will enable the crop mode on my Sony, turning effectively this 11 1.8 into approximately a 16 or 17 2.3 lens. I will compare this look in a moment to that of the Tamron 17-28 f2.8 and see how close we can get. And I now switch to the Tamron 17-28 f2.8 in full frame mode. So it's known as a compact full frame lens, but it's still 3 times the weight of the little 11 1.8. But the Tamron lens, although a good affordable full frame zoom lens, 17mm, you know, if you're gonna use it for vlogging, which was my main use for this lens, and you're gonna apply some stabilization, you know, it becomes more like a 22mm lens, so it gets a little too narrow for my taste. That's why I prefer vlogging with the Sony 11 1.8. What I want you to focus on is the field of view, so it should be slightly narrower or tighter than the Sony 11 1.8 in crop mode, but also just look at the blurred background. Is it more blurry or less? It's gonna be interesting to see how it compares. But anyway, I think I'm gonna sell this Tamron lens because I don't really have use for it anymore. We'll see. A few use cases I can think of with this lens aside from the everyday walk and talk vlogging. Travel vlogging. Just imagine you are in a new place, you want to visit some points of interest, and here you are, you slide to the side, you're holding the camera, you can still frame in a whole monument on the side, Eiffel Tower or whatnot. Real estate videography, especially for indoors. Usually what we want is every room to appear as big as possible. So yeah, this lens will make any room appear really big, and on top of that, if you've got the ZV-E1 for instance, turn on the maximum level of stabilization, you could leave your gimbal at home and still have a 14mm equivalent super smooth stabilized video footage for your real estate. That's a deadly combo there. But anyway, one of the main reasons why this lens is gathering more and more interest lately is probably for the regular walk and talk vlogs that are coming back into trend, especially since the Sony ZV-E1 and its amazing stabilization was released. So we're gonna go to town and do some tests. Some of the great points about this lens is that it is tiny. It's not pancake tiny, but it's really small. It's very light, 181 grams I think, and it's one of the only lenses that will allow you to get a standard vlogging 16 to 35 field of view, at 16 of course, or something excessively wide. It is so wide that you don't even need to extend your arm like you would with other lenses. No, you can keep it at a reasonable distance, maybe not too close to not get excessive distortion, but yeah, I think it's very likely the best option for the ZV-E1 and other Sony full frame cameras as far as vlogging. I'll let you be the judge. If you are interested in getting the lens and if you want to help out the channel, consider using one of the links below in the description. And at the moment, depending on your location, Sony is giving some cashbacks, so it might be a good time. At the same time, I don't want to push you to buy some new gear, but just know that it's there if you already had the intention to buy this lens. Anyway, I hope you are enjoying this test footage, and if you do, Please give the video a like, subscribe and click the notification bell. Thanks for watching.